Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's #1 mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Golan, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Hello.
We're back remote, one in-person podcast, and then we're back. You're in Maine. I'm in Mass.
Spring cleaning.
And I promised that we do a pod for every game. We've already failed. If you're a long-time listener, take my word with a grain of salt. I shoot for the moon, but I don't always get there. But we're back.
Yeah.
We'll try our best to do everyone, but there might be a couple 2 games in there.
Yeah.
We're busy people. It's just not a full-time gig until we get a few more listeners, people. So tell your friends. But here we are recording this Wednesday night. It's currently 7:10, and the Celtics are up 2-0. 2 good wins over the Hawks. A lot of good games around the NBA we'll get to, but let's start with the Celtics. And let's crank it back to Saturday, game 1. I'd say there's some telling things about this game, about the whole playoffs that I don't know, I didn't exactly see coming, but what's your initial thoughts for game 1?
My initial thoughts were confirmed by game 2 that the Hawks are just not that good.
No,
they're just not. And defensively, they're just not that good.
No.
I think I always kind of liked John Collins, and I almost feel like he's disappeared.
They've been trying to trade him for like 3 straight seasons.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
a
mental thing. I don't know, but he's just not playing the way that he used to play. He used to be a lot tougher, I don't know, very athletic, and for some reason he's just non-existent almost in some cases. And so
he's probably just frustrated from Trey checking up shots and playing no defense. He's like, I'm just done with this.
Yeah. But the defense, I think, is their biggest problem. So I think it's really hard to tell a lot of things about our team, at this point. So I'm happy, like I said last time we podcast, that it seems like it's going to be an easy series, whereas other teams are not having an easy series. So I think it's kind of nice to be injury free, to sort of be free with the ball. So I'm enjoying that part of it.
So there's one thing you said: you can't tell a lot about us because they're not very good. And I somewhat agree, but there's one thing that you can tell. And that's the biggest thing for me is who's playing.
Yeah.
Because pretty tight rotation.
Yes.
8-man, Brogdon, Hauser, Williams off the bench.
Yeah. I think he's done a good job with rotation. I'm not hating it.
I don't hate it either.
Yeah. I'm missing some other players, granted, but
I mean, the big two missing would be Grant Williams and Pritchard.
Yeah.
Pritchard, I get. I mean, just hurt down the stretch, had those great games late, but
and unfortunately, if he's going to play, this was the series he'd play in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's not playing now, it doesn't sound like that's going to happen.
Yeah. Which is sad.
But Grant Williams is the more interesting one to me.
Yeah.
Because he will play a role, I think.
Yes. I think he'll get in. Yeah.
Not in this series, but we'll get around the NBA at the end, but the teams we have coming have more formidable big men that you're going to need those bodies.
Yeah.
But my biggest take away from this would be, again, I'm looking way too far ahead and for no reason, but I don't see Grant Williams around next year at this point. Do you?
I don't either. I 100% agree with you.
I mean,
I think something happened. I think either there was
with
a
Missoula
fallout,
or just the other or teammates were just not. Yes, something is amiss. Agreed. Because for him to not get any time in these games, I think is very telling. Because it was always going to come down to the playoffs, and he could play like 40 minutes every game against the Bucks and Sixers, and we could be completely overreacting. But my tell right away is, it does not look like he's going to be around next year.
It's just weird to have zero time.
Zero.
Right?
Cornette gets in for 1 minute at the end of the other game.
Yeah.
Especially when you're blowing him out, you have 20 points in the third.
Yeah. Zero time is.
I mean, that's just
sort of,
that.
Yeah.
Again, obviously that's way off season talk, but to kind of.
I'll just add, I think it's slightly a mistake. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I do think with the whole Rob Williams injury thing and just how he's been in the past, I think it is a mistake to write off Rob Williams. And maybe they've talked to him and maybe they've said, hey, we don't need you. You know, maybe it is all, smooth between them. I have no idea. But
if I were a betting man, I would say no. But
between Al and Rob, there is a chance that one of them, you never know. Al's old.
Al could retire. Yeah. He could be done. This could be his last year.
Yeah,
Rob could be hurt. And then next year,
but even in this, or
something.
The next few series,
agreed. I don't know. So Grant Williams will have a role to play this playoffs.
Yes.
But I just think in terms of, if he's a guy you're looking to sign, doesn't sound like you see him more as a deep bench guy than you do a player that's going to be part of your future.
Agreed.
Again,
I'd love to know whether it was somewhat of a falling out or
if it's just
or
business
just they
is business.
Looked at how he played. They look at film and he isn't the way they want to go.
Just business. I don't know. It's all right. Let's get back to this season because we'll have plenty of downtime in the offseason to discuss that. For me, game 1, let's try to circle back to that. I know, a little less fresh in the minds of everyone. I guess we don't have
started down our same old road of the third quarter. What?
So, I was going to get to this.
Same exact thing.
Well, I was going to get to this about both games. People were kind of making a big deal about this, about holding the leads. I just saw on Twitter and I saw people about, kind of you go a bit. I don't have as much of a problem as most people.
But I think they've been doing this all year long. And I think they did a better job in the second game than they did. I think they watched film and I think they did a much better job. The first game, that third quarter, always goes down to how many points Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have. And they come out and they are the ones that take like you'll notice in the first half, very rarely do they dribble at the top of the key. And then all of a sudden, they are dribbling or they're getting the one pass and hucking it up. And that is exactly what happened in the third quarter. And they missed. It was a one shot, didn't take our time, didn't play our offense. It seems like the third quarter is that time at halftime when maybe, I don't know what happens where they say, I only have 15. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like the third quarter is the time the offense slows down. And I'm not sure it's about holding a lead. Maybe it is. I mean, I don't know. We fail every time.
but I don't know. I was never that concerned. Like
100%.
You're in the playoffs.
And I think it's,
you're up like 20 and they got it. I mean, did it ever get to single digits in either game? Like maybe 9 or something, 7, but like
first game, I will say
teams are going to go on runs, especially a team that's more offensively, they're going to hit some shots. I just thought we played great and I really wasn't concerned about blowing either lead.
First game I did because I think they got down to, I don't know what it was in the third quarter. Like they got it down to single digits.
I don't know.
Trae Young hadn't gone off yet. He hasn't gone off, period.
He hasn't gone off all year. He's just not the same player. I don't know what happened. He's just not.
All I could think of is, oh no, please don't let this happen.
But he hasn't done that all. He's not that guy this year. He's just not. Like he has not been all year. Which he is he does not.
He
just can't hit. He just doesn't hit threes and hit like perimeter shots as well. And he's not as much a threat from out there.
I also think when you defend him and you can guard or double team him, who else is scoring? I mean, they're really not getting
and
anybody.
I just think for other guys, he's just not a fun guy to play with because he doesn't play any defense and you're frustrated and he has the ball in his hands all the time. And it's just like,
but I will say
never been
the
a Hawks
second game, they did a better job. I thought they kind of came out faster. The funny thing is Jason Tatum already had his point. He was in the 20s already. So I'm wondering mentally.
He was awesome. Game 2, he was awesome.
I agree.
Just attacking the basket, threes when he was open.
And he didn't overshoot even though his percentage was good.
Correct.
He passed.
He made all the right plays. He was awesome.
Yes.
The other guy who was awesome in both these games was Derek White, who we've been banging the drum all year. He's the third best player on the Celtics. He just is the third best player on the Celtics.
I agree. And have you noticed your guy Smart sitting a little more?
I would hope so. Thank you, Joe. Yeah.
And
I should be on the bench telling Joe.
Not that he's played terrible, but the ball movement is so good when he's in there. When Derek White is in there, the ball movement is great.
It's not that he's terrible. He's just not the best choice. Again, I'm the biggest Marcus Smart fan there is. He's just not the guy this year. It is Derek White is the third best player on the team, and you can't sit him down the stretch.
Yeah.
Defensively, he had the most blocks of any guard this year.
I agree.
He's the third best player in the Celtics. There's just no question about it at this point. After these two games, I mean, he was the second highest score behind Tatum in the first game, and then in the second game, third in the first game, only got 20 points other than the Jays. I mean, what enough said.
And I think it's fantastic because, everybody is watching film, getting ready for the Jays. They're getting ready for those two. To have somebody like that be able to come in and score as well. Now they got to look out for him, so I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, agreed. He's been amazing. And
he's fun to watch.
Yeah, right? He's awesome.
His passing, his movement, he moves away from the ball. He finds people that are cutting. I mean, he is the point guard that you want. And that is even what drives me crazy. Every once in a while I look, and what is Jason Tatum and what are Jaylen Brown doing up front being point guards of any sort at times? Too long, once in a great while, but come on now, right? I mean, he should be bringing it up most of the time.
Yeah.
He should be making those passes.
And when he's not, it should be Brogdon.
Yes.
Those are the guys.
And I didn't mind
Smart
once in a while.
Yeah, Smart sometimes. Give him.
But if I see, get off the point.
Yes, unless it's a fast break.
But I do think this defense is, and that can come back to bite you, right? Some of these teams that have a tougher go in this round are going to be ready to play next round. Hopefully they'll be tired, but they've, sort of amped up, and I'm afraid I want us to amp up. So
we'll see.
I'm kind of hoping that the Hawks step up a little bit next
We
game.
could have a 12% from 3 game, and they could steal one. I mean, it's not over, but
and that's another thing, points in the paint. Like, even though in the end, I think in the beginning of the game, we're doing a great job not hucking up threes. Points in the paint. I just think we've done it.
And I think Tatum's led that. I think, obviously kind of Tatum's finishing was the thing last year, but I think even towards the end of the year, the fact that he kind of struggled from 3 for a stretch there, really invigorated his paint game again. And he really, almost just stopped getting lazy again and attacked the paint and got to the basket. And I think that's just done wonders.
Agreed. And 33 out of 88. I mean, I'll take it. If it's
that's a good balance.
Over 50%.
That's a good balance.
We had been doing. That was the first game. Second game, we were,
a little bit, almost the same, almost exactly the same.
33 for 86. Yeah. I'll take that. I just
took 33 in both games.
Yeah. It just didn't seem like we were shooting too many threes. They were worked in a way that it seemed like the offense was working. Yeah.
No, I mean, for me, it's just hard to have complaints. I thought we looked great.
Yeah.
I thought we looked great both games.
I just think it's easy to look good
against especially.
I mean, they're just not that good. How they beat the Heat, I have no idea.
Thank God.
I agree.
They beat the Heat.
Thank God. Yes.
Thank God.
I've been watching and I know Giannis got hurt, but I've been watching the Heat. That is a gritty team.
It's the Heat. It's still the Heat. They just
gritty team.
They're zombies. As soon as you think they're out. And you can't
say that about the Hawks. They're not gritty.
What?
They're not gritty.
Not even
the Hawks
a little.
Are not gritty.
No. Not even a little. So let's get to that then. Around the NBA, we'll just do a little. I think, as I said, this year I've been watching. I just think it's an exciting year. Agreed.
I mean, the Kings 2-0 over the Warriors.
Yeah, what? 2 great games. I mean,
I'm so excited for the Kings.
Yeah,
I just am.
It's so even. You really just don't know who's coming out this year, which makes it exciting. I think.
Yes.
So yeah, let's
the Kings.
That'd be awesome.
I do. I think Suns are going to be tough, but
Suns are going to be tough.
Yeah,
Lakers look good too.
I know. I wouldn't want to be in a close game muscling against LeBron. Would you?
No.
Close game in the end.
Yeah. The argument against the Lakers is, I mean, are those guys, him and Anthony Davis, going to hold up? Especially when you get.
Did you see the shoulder dislocation or whatever Anthony Davis had in the middle of the first game? He got bumped.
But when you get to the conference,
but he couldn't move his whole arm.
When you get to the conference finals, and now that they've changed their schedule, so every conference final game's every other day. I mean, LeBron's 38. Those guys are going to be bruised. I was like,
but what do you mean you can't move your whole arm? And they went up back. I'm thinking dislocation.
Just
and then they
popped it back
and he was back. They won, and he played a great game for the rest of the game. But I was like, what?
It's going to be interesting.
You can't move your whole arm.
And it sounds like Jaws might not be playing. So
he's a baby. He got whooped. They shut him down.
He's tiny.
I watched that game. Yeah.
I'm not a jaw guy. You can kind of just bully him. He can't shoot from 3. I don't know. Yeah. Never been in the modern NBA.
Very athletic.
Yeah, of course. He's a highlight guy for sure. But in the modern NBA, if you're a guard that's that small and you can't shoot the 3.
Yeah. And he hasn't been shooting the 3 well. So yeah.
Yeah. And you're the guy, the ball dominant guy that's not shooting from 3. It's tough to win that way. It's tough to win that way.
But you see his personality.
Let's get to the interesting one. The one we were just talking about. Heat Bucks, another game tonight. Oh man.
Yeah.
Heat up 1-0. Giannis, last time I checked at work today, Giannis is doubtful for game 2. Let's do a little Google.
He broke
Hero's
his hand.
out? Yeah. I knew he was out the first. Yeah, I guess he's not coming back from that.
Broken hand. They said 6 weeks. He's a shooter. It's his right hand. Is he left-handed? I don't know how you get that.
8 minutes ago, Shams tweeted Giannis will not play in game 2 versus the Heat.
Yeah.
And
the Heat,
he's out.
The Bucks could make it a good game if everybody plays well.
The Bucks could still win. That's a good team.
Agreed. Yeah, their bench is deep.
You don't get the number 1 seed like that with one guy. Yeah. They have a squad. I mean, Drew Holiday. The other thing though is Middleton even 100%? There's talks about him being kind of hurt. So yeah. I mean, it's almost like I see those two teams as like almost even now. The Giannis is out. The Heat aren't like now runaway favorites just because Giannis is out.
That's 20 something points.
Sure. Yeah, that averaging. Too. I mean,
that's big.
I mean, the Bucks.
What's his name was in?
Probably still favored.
Robinson. He played. He's been on the bench. He got the big contract. He was in for a little while, but they didn't even keep him in long. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting.
Let's see what the live odds right now for that game are. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know what you do if you lose 2 at home and then, Giannis does, but then you come back and Giannis is not 100%. I mean, they could tough. Lose this series. They truly could.
What's going on here? Can't find why is the only game the Brazilian league.
So it could end up being the Sixers and us.
Don't get me excited.
I know. Don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud, but that could be it.
Because as much as you never want to see people hurt, don't get me excited.
Who do you prepare for in the West?
I don't mind any of the matchups towards the West. The Bucks are the only team that really scares me.
The Suns, I don't
know. Oh yeah, the Sun. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying those are a cakewalk.
Yeah.
But the team that scares me the most, all NBA, is still the Bucks if Giannis is healthy.
Agreed.
So yeah, if he can't go or if he's not 100%, I mean, that is just that's huge.
Yeah, I agree. But and you know how it happened? I don't know if you were watching the game. It's that whole thing of him hitting the ground every single time to get the foul call. He pummels his body every single time. This was a tough fall kind of on his back.
Yeah.
But
that's his game.
I think it was Kevin Love. Kevin Love played well, and he's notorious for taking charges. And
can we talk about why the Cavs just released him?
Yeah. Well, but I do think it's a look at Russell Westbrook now. Russell Westbrook. He's like
Yeah.
killing it now.
I mean, okay. He shot 3 for 19.
Oh, no. But it was his defense.
Yeah.
His
Oh, yeah. I
rebounds.
watched.
He kept them.
I don't understand.
He's
so frustrating to me because if someone could just tell him, like, you don't have to score. Like, you just have to be like the Dennis Rodman.
He did better the
Draymond,
he wasn't
the guy.
shooting quite as much.
You just have to be that
better.
hustle guy. You don't like, you're not the guy anymore. You're not gonna.
I mean, they're in a little trouble anyway, because at the time when he was shooting, there were not a lot of other, Paul George is out. So other than Kawhi, can you imagine being Kawhi's teammate? When are you going to turn it on? When are you going to, you never know what he's going to do. And he has been working much harder now in the playoffs, but it's
he's awesome. Yeah.
Waiting for him
it's
to
bizarre.
Do whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
On.
He
and
is
then the
literally
switch
just
is
a
off
machine.
and I'm kind of
he's just a machine.
Scenes. Yeah. It's like, so I can't imagine, but Russell Westbrook, oh my goodness. He was my hustle MVP of that game.
Yeah.
Like the steals, his defense, his coming behind and knocking it out. His rebounds, he just did. I don't know. Yes. Shooting was not good. And had a couple kind of crazy fouls at different times, but his hustle, I don't know. So I'm so glad he left the Lakers because I don't think he was allowed to be that person on the Lakers. And I think he's now embraced a starting role.
The Lakers also just didn't have any shooting. So it was like, you can't add another non-shooter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't think I don't think he was quite this type of player when he played for the Lakers. I think he's got to be super happy at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm rooting for them. You know why? Because I'm rooting for Russell Westbrook.
Big Russell Westbrook guy now, huh?
His hustle, he works so hard. He just works so hard. So yes, I'm a Russell Westbrook. What do you think
the line is for Bucks Heat tonight?
Oh, win. I think it's gonna be low. I think the Bucks are still favored. No?
It is Bucks -6.
Yeah.
Bucks are favored by 6.
They're so deep. If they,
I agree.
And remember now they've had a couple days to practice without Giannis.
Yeah.
So they can now. I don't think Giannis was their whole world. So now they have. Bobby Portis played well the other night. Like now they can start to figure out how to, and they've got a lot.
Lakers are favored by 1 tonight as well.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
No, I agree, but interesting.
Is Ja playing?
Good question. Let's look that up.
Maybe that's why.
I doubt it. Out.
Yeah, that's probably why.
With a sore right hand.
Yeah. Wow. I think his attitude is terrible. After watching last game, he's just so whiny and even when he does well, he's just I can't describe it. He's just
I'm not a big Ja guy either.
He's not likable. Yeah, he's not likable. Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me. It'll be interesting to see kind of how he does and what he does.
Yep.
But such fun. I think I've watched more games this year than I have any other year just because the matchups are so kind of different and you don't know
there's a lot of competitive series.
Who's going to win. And
the only real non-competitive series are, I guess, Celtics and Nuggets. Everyone's sleeping on now. The Nuggets are no one's paying any attention to the Nuggets this year, which interesting. My pick out of the West this year.
Yeah, right. So my favorite player of all time, Jokic.
All time.
Well, not all time, but he's so fun to watch.
He is awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Same face all the time.
Throwing the passes behind his head.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you never know when it's going to come. That's the weird thing. It's like nothing changes. Nothing. Yeah. It's just so stoic.
Yep.
Very funny. But fun.
Agreed.
Season. So yeah, I'm kind of I have to say, want this series to be over. Unless something changes. I'm hoping.
Don't get cocky
for our sake, the next game kind of gets going.
Don't get cocky yet. You never know.
We win, but they make it more challenging. Because you're right. No matter how close it got, really never felt like we were in either game.
No, that's what people, I just
going
thought people
to-
were way overreacting to the lead coming. I'm like, okay, this is still an NBA team. They're not just going to fold over. Like,
well, no, but I think it's post-traumatic because they've done it before where
everyone's seen.
the Wizards crushed us. No,
I
we
get
tend
it.
to make bad teams look good for some reason.
But...
So yeah. And at times I will say our intensity lowered just a little bit too much.
It's a game of runs. They made a couple runs. I just never thought it was that disastrous. Like, obviously, like
Agreed.
you don't want them to come back. But I just thought people just like asking Joe about, maintaining the leads, stuff like. You're gonna like a 20-point lead's gonna go to 10 in the NBA. It's gonna happen sometimes. And if you win the game, it's okay.
Yeah. And the scores are not reflective of the whole game. I mean, at no time in the end or the fourth quarter in either game did we feel like we weren't going to win the game. Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah. Agreed. All right.
All right. That's it. Bruins are on.
All right.
Just started. I'm going to go watch that. Go Bruins as well. We got a Bruins Celtics doubleheader on Friday. Playing at the same time, 7:30.
You having the two
Unbelievable.
screens up?
Double screen. I'm gonna go to Mike's or something. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be a good time. That's all we got.
Go Celtics.
We'll be back. Go Bruins. Go Celtics. We'll see you next time.